सफीर पाकिस्तान, आपके जज्बों का तर्जुमान। वतन से दूर, वतन की आवाज और आपकी पहचान।
सफीर पाकिस्तान बाएतमाद नुमाइंदों की टीम के साथ जियो का मसरूफ प्रोग्राम सफीर पाकिस्तान, सबसे पहले और सबसे आगे।
Safir Pakistan actively works to strengthen the bond between Pakistani Americans across the nation.
Thank you, Safir Pakistan, for continuing to put together a positive image of Pakistan.
अमरीकी सियासत में अहम किरदार, 25 साल नशरियात का लगातार मुसलसल अवामी प्लेटफॉर्म सफीर पाकिस्तान।
I really appreciate Waqar Khan, who carries this process very well indeed.
पल पल की खबरें और कम्युनिटी राब्तों के साथ लगातार उभरते हुए और कामयाब व कामरान लोगों की दास्तान आप तक पहुंचाने में सबसे पहले सबसे आगे।
Putting up a great program, running an excellent platform for bringing like minds together.
Congratulations for putting a great program together, and thank you for connecting so many Pakistanis from all over America to each other.
To get everybody together as a community, we have seen that he works really hard. And I'm so happy that you chose to start this program of honoring high achievers of our community.
हर जगह, हर पल आपका अपना सफीर पाकिस्तान नजर आता है।
लॉस एंजलिस से ताल्लुक रखने वाले पाकिस्तानी केमिकल इंजीनियर फवाद हसन गुज़श्ता 20 बरस से बायोफार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री से मुंसलिक हैं और इस शोबे में अपनी मजबूत पहचान भी बना चुके हैं। जनाब फवाद हसन बॉटनी के शरीक बानी, सदर और सीईओ रहे, जिसे एलरगन ने 2018 में $195 मिलियन की पेशगी अदायगी के लिए हासिल किया था। इनके विजन और क़यादत ने बॉन्टेस की तेज रफ्तार तरक्की में नहायत अहम किरदार अदा किया है। आजकल जनाब फवाद डिजिटल हेल्थ, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, बायोफार्मास्यूटिकल एंटरप्राइज सॉफ्टवेयर सॉल्यूशंस के मुख्तलिफ मंसूबों में शामिल हैं और कई अवार्ड्स भी अपने नाम कर चुके हैं। आइए मज़ीद जानते हैं फवाद हसन की कामयाबियों के बारे में इस ख़ुसूसी इंटरव्यू में।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम फवाद साहब।
वालेकुम सलाम वकार भाई, हाउ आर यू?
कैसे हैं, ठीक ठाक हैं आप?
फर्स्ट क्लास। ईद मुबारक टू यू एज़ वेल।
या ईद मुबारक। तो कैसा गया आपका ईद का सीजन?
अच्छा गया। Family time, from obviously as I have a extended family, big family here in Southern California, so mostly Eid is spent with the family. Family तक गुजारा सुबह से शाम तक, तो अच्छा मजा आया।
अच्छा। तो आप पाकिस्तान जा रहे हैं?
जी, नेक्स्ट वीक मेरी डिपार्चर है पाकिस्तान के लिए। following week actually, beginning of August. Inshallah, it's been a while since I was there, and looking forward to some very exciting projects in Pakistan.
Okay. Thank you very much. On board with the program Safir Pakistan, OpTv Global Network, and I'm very proud to have you in my programs. Mashallah, you're very young and you very get going personality, और आप जैसे लोगों को पाकिस्तान की जरूरत है। और मुझे ताजुब है कि आप मेरी आंख से इतने दिनों ओझल कहते रहे। So tell me a little bit your introduction to our audience.
बिल्कुल वकार भाई, first of all honored to be part of your show, and obviously you are someone that I have followed the program for a long time, and it's exciting program, and it does a really good job in showcasing the achievements and accomplishments of the Pakistani diaspora in US. A quick background on myself. I grew up in California. My family has been here for such a long time. From the beginning, I always wanted to do something where I can make an impact in people's life. So my academic background is I'm a chemical engineer by training, and got into biotech field from very early on. And in biotech field, as you know, it's a growing sector, especially healthcare in general, right? And you have an opportunity to improve patients' lives through research, through new discoveries and new innovation. So I was very fortunate that from the beginning of my career, I had an opportunity to make that impact by developing medicines that are now are making a huge impact on some of these conditions. There are no treatments, for example, or were no treatments previously. So my focus is I've always been in areas where there's huge unmet need, eye care, and then obviously in skincare as well too. Um, Based in California, I've lived in all over US where the opportunity took me. In the last few years, I also moved into entrepreneurship by moving from a big pharma, big biotech to a startup environment. So really got to learn to start a business from scratch. As a scientist, sometimes you don't know that, but I was very fortunate to surround myself with advisors and people who guided me through that process. So I had developed a company about 6 years ago where we were developing next generation Botox-like compound. Even in my previous history, I had worked on the Botox program back at a pharma company. But in this new company, we were developing the next generation program to not only go after, as you know, people hear about Botox as a cosmetic product,
Yes.
but majority of its applications are towards therapeutic use. One major one is migraine, which pretty much everyone in our near circle has someone who's affected by migraine, and Botox was one of the successful treatments in that program. So in our company, we were developing the next generation program, which comes in much faster than Botox. Within 3 years of our existence, we had 2 different clinical programs going, and were positioned to go IPO, and then we got acquired by a big pharma company. So alhamdulillah, very blessed with the success, and then now using the success to help others in the within the community, outside the community as well too. I sit on board of a few companies. I'm in an advisory role for a few companies, and then also looking at a Pakistani angle too, which, as you know, one of the things that was highlighted as part of the pandemic, that Pakistan in itself is much further behind in many other developing countries in developing its own resources, particularly when it comes to developing medicine and biologic medicine. There's a lot of generics there, but I think there's a huge opportunity with that country with above 200 million people that can be turned into a huge opportunity for future.
Oh, I see. So recently, what is your major product you merged with the Amgen? Can you please explain me about that, your merger, and you sold that company to Amgen?
Yeah, so the company that we were acquired by was Allergan, which is now acquired by AbbVie. AbbVie is one of the top pharmaceutical companies globally. The product we were developing, and this is obviously, I was previously at Allergan myself, which I was part of the Botox program, which people know that there are about 30 approved indications for Botox and so many off-label use, from treating pain to treating cosmetic conditions. The product that we developed was a faster version of Botox. Botox typically takes about 7 days before you see the effect. With us, within 24 hours, you will see the effect very quickly. That for us was not in cosmetic, which obviously has its own huge market, but we believe that this product can be a huge success, potentially success in the pain aspect of it. As you know, before pandemic, one of the areas where our country in the US were struggling with this opioid epidemic, people were getting addicted, and the huge pandemic of its own that was taking many lives every day. 80 people were dying from this situation. So when you have a biologic that is not addicting, but more importantly, can goes after the root cause. So one of the primary effects of this product was that it helps relaxes the muscle. And most of these, opioids were used to treat.
Oh wow, that's a very good product.
Surgical pain, yeah, exactly. So, if you have a product that goes directly to the root cause of the pain by treating muscle relaxation in essence, right? It was muscle spasms, and in essence, this can treat the overall, cause of pain. So from that perspective, and especially you can come in within 24 hours, there's a much desired product. So product is still in development. We're hoping that it will get to approval in the next coming years, and hopefully will change the dynamics how we treat them.
So you're still working with the allergen, or you already sold your company or pattern, or what?
Company sold. They are developing it. Obviously, it's in public domain now, and they're making good progress. Obviously, one of the things about entrepreneurs is that I always tell my people who I mentor is that know your limitation, know your strength, right? So you can go so far with your infrastructure and your resources. So it's always good to partner with people who can take it all the way through. So with Allergan, we found a partner, which is now AbbVie, that can take it all the way towards commercialization and put this, great product in the hands of this physician who can then treat patients.
So you got a good return about that from allergen?
Yeah, no, we're certainly, alhamdulillah, obviously we're blessed to get a good, good outcome out of that deal. Obviously, it was upfront payment. And again, it's all in public domain, and then there's some, royalties and subsequent milestone payments that will come through as the program makes it in progress. But now I'm on to other exciting projects, which is also giving me.
Tell me about that.
The three, I mean, as I mentioned, I'm on an advisory role as a board member. I'm also an investor in some of these exciting opportunities in healthcare, in AI, and also looking into transport logistics as well too, because there's a huge growing sector there. But the three projects that I'm excited about right now, one is basically around artificial intelligence. How do you take machine learning to bring much more precision and objectivity in how we diagnose different conditions. One particular area is skincare, for example, and one of the things that being in this industry, we always felt that there's a lot of subjectivity when it comes to making assessments from between physician to physician, between patient to physician. So, and especially nowadays when people are much more aware and conscious about their conditions, they read a lot, they're following people on social media. So in today's environment requires a tool that gives them a bit of education, and more importantly, the drug developers in us, people who develop medicine, we need to have the information so then we can better cater to each patient. Because as you know, there are different types of patients, different demographics, different age groups, right? So you cannot have one single solution for everyone, and so it needs to be personalized for those. So I'm pretty excited about that project. We're in the development mode right now. We're focusing on skincare. Partly, we feel that skincare is one area which is very common across all demographics, and then into other areas. And then there are other therapeutic projects that I'm involved in. One revolves around autoimmune conditions where there are
autoimmune. Yeah, that's a very, very important.
And there's not that many approved treatments in that. Even some stuff like hair growth, alopecia areata, vitiligo, which actually has, especially from the Pakistani angle, that's an area that we have a lot of people in our community that are affected by those conditions.
Autoimmune, yes.
Yeah, so that's we have a product which is will be considered safe and can get to the desired result much faster. So to me, that's obviously an area of
because I know, because autoimmune about that. I'm involved with the company called Carbon Fusion. Dr. Suhail Masood is the chairman, the CEO, and the founder. And the IVIG immunoglobulin, which is treat neuromuscular disorder, MS, all this thing, autoimmune system को वो deal करती है दवा. तो इसलिए मुझे पता है कि autoimmune की बड़ी issues हैं. तो हो सकता है it's a good collaboration. Sometime you meet Dr. Suhail Masood as well. Right. So I mean, as you mentioned also that you are planning to go Pakistan to really discuss about how to start their own vaccine.
Yes. I'll comment on that. That's an area which is near and dear to my heart. As an engineer, one of the things I was very fortunate enough was behind the success of many biologic drugs in US. So I come with a strong background in that space. And one of the things that I was fortunate enough to be part of was I have a lot of patents in the bioreactor space, which is the apparatus that's used to manufacture these biologics, the proteins, for example. When it comes to biologics manufacturing, the industry has come a long way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advancements in that space. Now shift is towards disposable single-use bioreactors, which I was one of the pioneers in that space. And what that has done, it has bring the cost down significantly. And one of the issues with Pakistan has been even simple vaccines for rabies, which we were importing from other countries, where it was not manufactured locally, basically, right? So the goal is that if you have a patient, a population of 220 million, we should be able to produce some of these biologics and vaccines locally, and that can be done in obviously organized fashion. Now, obviously, I think the new administration, new government is very progressive, very open to those ideas. So I'm working with a group, some individuals based in US and some in Pakistan as well.
In Pakistan, yes.
See how we can bring the biologics manufacturing in
Pakistan.
We can produce our own vaccines, our own biologics for the local population first. And then once you have that infrastructure built in, then you can become the center of excellence for the local region as well. So this idea obviously is now moving very quickly into the next stage. Obviously you start with the idea first, and then you want to obviously look at the ground reality and identify areas. I think there are the approaches that there are these technology regions, sectors, business sectors that have been developed in different parts of countries, and use those areas to establish infrastructure. The other thing is also important that the academic institutions in Pakistan also are pretty good, and there is knowledge there. There are some good people there with the background, and how do you tap into them to build it? I mean, even in US, if you recall, a lot of the innovation and technology has come from these academic institutions. So the same mindset needs to be applied there, that tapping into those institutions to build the industry, and then from there on.
I think Pakistan should create a biomedical product Silicon Valley in Pakistan somewhere.
Yes.
I know that there is a software, there is IT, but the government should create or give the opportunity that people come from all over the world and do the biomedical product in Pakistan to really support the all over the world. I think the Pakistani doctors doing phenomenal here, best of their mind in America, and people like you migrated. When do you migrated from Pakistan?
So as I said, my family's been here since last 70s. I was born in Karachi. I came at a very young age, so I did all my schooling in US basically.
Yes, you told that you graduated from Maryland.
My graduate degrees are from University of Maryland. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. And you also spent some time in Silicon Valley as well.
Yeah, I grew up in San Jose, and I still have a lot of relatives in Silicon Valley. So it's near and dear to my heart. A lot of memories from. I'm now in Southern California, but a lot of fond memories from.
Yeah, people have no idea that Silicon Valley is the biggest biomedical product exporters to the world, because there's a lot of issues, FDA and approval and thing, copyrights, intellectual rights in America. So they don't care about, they just doing this product from all over the world, right. And the world is accepting their product.
Yes.
And you are one of them, and mashallah, and you've been with the Allergen is a very big company, and I'm very honored and touched about that. Yeah. They accepted your product and you're part of that company.
However, you touched upon the medical equipment, medical devices. That's another huge area of opportunity Where I am in Southern California, in Orange County specifically, a lot of people don't realize that Orange County has become a center of excellence, a hub for two key areas. One is medical device, and second is eye care. And the reason why
Eye care.
they have become such a a big ecosystem for these two areas is because of presence of two big companies. Edward Life Sciences is based here, and Edward, one of the claim to fame for Edward is that they're known for their heart valves and other cardio technologies. And if you go back to Pakistan, one of the obviously still, the leading cause of, mortality in Pakistan is heart disease.
Heart disease, yes, yes.
And even there, I mean, I know there's some effort now to develop the stent locally, but even that was imported from places like in China
and Korea.
They get the Western stuff as well too, but most of the people get the import stent. I think that's one area that is a huge opportunity to develop a local industry there as well, and then take the resources from here to apply there. So there's some conversation I've had about that too. And one of the things for cardiac heart valves, for example, the tissue comes from the agriculture of animal industry as well too. As you know, we are big in the animal industry.
Big in agriculture.
Right?
Yes.
So we also tap into that to develop our own, locally developed
balls and stand and
stand as well too.
Yeah, it's really very honored talking to you about your background, very rich background. I hope that when you're planning to go Pakistan, last week, coming week?
Next coming week, right? So I'll be in Islamabad for a few days. So hopefully, we'll make some progress in those discussions. Obviously, some of the systems are old, right, and they need to be updated. Particularly, from my understanding of the regulatory authority in Pakistan, which is referred to as drug regulatory authority.
Yeah, Pakistan really to be lenient about welcoming people like you. There is a lot of issue of the painkiller medicine lacking in Pakistan, antibiotic lacking in Pakistan, life-saving drug is lacking. Pakistan lacking in that industry. They are imported. They import all the drugs, even the vitamins.
Yeah.
And vitamin can be, I know Mr. Tasneem Khwaja, who has many patron from Newport Beach, and he wanted to establish a pharmaceutical industry in Pakistan to really manufacturing the antibiotic and vitamins and painkiller product. But by some happened, he couldn't survive, and he passed away about 4 years ago. Good friend of mine, and believe me that all the leader of the pharmaceutical industry come to his home, touch his feet, and he respect him because he's a very valuable guy. And he told that, look at Pfizer, the company running as they hand over, they never progress, they never modernize it, they're running as is. And Pfizer CEO told Mr. Khwaja, why don't you take over and modernize this company, Pfizer, So I think the good idea you going Pakistan, and we will try to really accommodate you somewhere, and maybe you go on our PTV. I arrange an interview. You talk about what you can do, what are the opportunity, what are the potential of the Pakistani American living in abroad and all over the world. So this is about your background, mashallah, very rich. Tell me what you do besides that. What other thing you do?
I obviously keep myself busy with sports, right? Cricket is something I learned playing in US, right? I have a family history. My father played first-class cricket in Pakistan for PIA, and so there's this genes that continued on. So and I was fortunate to play for United States cricket team as well, and now I play cricket recreationally. But more importantly, I spend time with my kids who are now active in sports. So on weekends is pretty much sports in our family. So kids are playing baseball. So I keep them quite busy here.
How many kids you have?
I have 3 kids. 2 boys who are active baseball players, and I have a daughter who's busy with her martial arts and taekwondo.
And your wife is a housewife, or she also be supporting in business?
Yeah, no, she does a lot of her social stuff. So yeah, mostly we do a bit of charity work as well too. One of the things I learned from my mother early on is to be there for others as well too. So that's been a sort of a family tradition is to quietly going about doing a lot of these. So we have our family foundation that, which is my wife's responsibility basically.
That's very good. So what other hobbies you have? You do like the poetry, music, or some other things?
Oh yeah, I like reading books, right? And obviously, that's been a focus area to continue to learn new things. So it's all about there's so much to be learned in different sectors, right? So from art, history, and traveling as well. So that's my other passion as well too. Is to
Mr. Fauad, Hasan, I really very honored talking to you. I'm very excited to learn about your product, and I hope that you will be succeed in Pakistan. And I hope that Pakistan welcome you. You just like a gym, okay? And I understand that Silicon Valley, the people doing a lot of contribution, and your contribution going to be very valuable and very kind of treasure for Pakistan to come with the vaccine like corona vaccine और देखिए वहाँ पे कुत्ते काटने की वैक्सीन भी नहीं थी जो इंडिया से आती थी इंडिया से ताल्लुकात खराब हो गए तो वैक्सीन भी आना बंद हो गई So we need people like you to really come up with a biological product. And thank you very much once again for giving me time. And I hope that you support my award night, and next time, inshallah, when you come back, then we'll celebrate your award here in LA.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't make it in person, but it's extreme honor, Waqar bhai, and keep up the good work that you're doing for our community. And I look forward to seeing further success through your initiative.
Thank you very much for your time and consent.
Thank
God
you.
bless. Thank you.
हर जगह हर पल आपका अपना सफीर पाकिस्तान नजर आता है।